Welcome back to the Daily Hunt. I'm Henry, and today we're going to be covering a broad analysis of the markets, S&P 500, NASDAQ, Russell, the VIX as well, like we usually do. We're also going to be covering crypto and commodities, looking at gold, natural gas, and a few other plays that I think are there for the taking. And I'm also going to be covering, during this video, my current portfolio in stocks and crypto. So I've traded a few ideas recently. Yesterday we've traded 2 new ideas, and we've built a small portfolio ready to perform during the next few months. The first thing I want to cover though, and if we get straight into it, first thing I want to cover is this heat map. We see that large caps are doing pretty well. We have Google, Meta, Oracle, Netflix doing pretty well, Palantir. Money flowing this week back into the larger caps. We have Amazon, Walmart, Costco, Home Depot, retail doing really well, and it's been doing well since last week as well. And we have Tesla, which has picked up a little bit this week with a 5.7% gain during this week. Transportation as well with Uber and a few other plays. And then finally here we have United Health, as well as the health sector as a whole, doing pretty well. United Health is in our portfolio. We have Tesla in our portfolio. We haven't traded any retail. I didn't find any decent opportunities for my strategy, but it's been doing well. And tech, we're looking for a re-entry in Palantir, but we don't want to rush this because we're seeing some short sentiment there as well. Apple, obviously, we have the new iPhone coming out this, I think, next month. So that's been doing well. MU, we've traded that. That's done pretty well as well. And yeah, so there's some nice movement here in the market considering the current situation. And first thing I want to cover is the S&P 500. Where are we in the market right now? In the previous videos, I mentioned that we're in a box. Okay, so we're in a box and we are consolidating. We are moving sideways. And if we really want to get some momentum here, what we need to see is a push to this upper band, new all-time high, this mid-band actually, new all-time high, and then a push to 6.7K, which is my prediction since December. And I've mentioned this in a number of my videos, that it's always been my overextension zone since December of last year. So here we are, and in the previous video I mentioned that it's consolidating quite nicely and we could break above this trend line. We just started breaking again above this trend line, showing some signs that we potentially have now some momentum kicking into the S&P 500. We have to obviously see how far this will push, but overall it's looking pretty decent here for a break above. We also have the risk of breaking below this channel, and if we break below the channel, we have failed. We have developed a distribution level, which it could easily be a distribution level here, not an accumulation level, like December, January, and February of last year and early this year. So we could be distributed here, and then eventually we come back down to around 6,140. So we've bought pretty well. We're in a comfortable position. We're in profit in most of our trades. So we're in the Discord group that I run, my community, we're covered here regardless of what happens because we are in profit. If you're trading the S&P and you're looking for long-term play, that is the only risk here. Even if we go to 6.7K, I still think there's a key resistance level there and we have to come back down. Now, you could argue, and this is what I've been discussing in previous videos, that we're still not overbought on the weekly chart. Let me just show you the weekly chart here. So we have room on the weekly chart for this to move a little bit higher before it becomes overbought and reaches these levels of 78, above 70 to 78 here. And then that's where we usually see sell-offs in the market. At the moment, we're in a decent position. We could see maybe another push up higher and blow the top off, move, and then we get the sell-off. Let's see. For me, Like I said, it's looking positive. It's a dull market. It's grinding up higher. But the longer it stays here, the riskier it becomes for a drop down here towards 6.2, maybe 6.1K. The NASDAQ also consolidating here, and it's around that head and shoulder pattern that I've mentioned a few times. And of course, if this comes back down, breaks down below the neckline, we are finished with this move and we no longer have a bull market. We might be having a market that's distributing and moving sideways or accumulating and then moving up. The Russell continues to show a bit of weakness here with that sector rotation back into large caps. I did mention this in the previous video that I don't see this breaking above it. I think flows will go back into large caps if we get a decent news event and economic data coming out this week. CPI data is coming out tomorrow, and that's what we're really watching here with this one. So we'll see how this moves, but a dip here to the midpoint and then a buy up would probably be the best move for the Russell, and then we would be able to enter some small caps going into the Fed interest rate decision. The VIX had a bit of a spike yesterday and then it dropped off, and then right now it hasn't really moved much. As you can see here, no movement. I mentioned yesterday that above this level is what I'm looking for potential short in the S&P 500 and getting out of my positions. That's my worry. And if we go under 14.7 and maybe even 14, we are very bullish, and we're probably going to be creating new highs on the S&P, and we should be generating some profits in our portfolios if we picked well. That's the overall conditions of the US market and what I see. Now I want to go into analyzing some of my recent trades and my portfolio and new opportunities that I'm looking for in the stock market. So IQ has been really good for us in the Discord group. It's been a good performing stock, moving higher pretty much every day, even though there's been some volatility within the days. We're up right now around 40% in just around 3 weeks. That's been a decent performer for us. ENGN has also been a decent performer here, where it's moved up every day, even though we've had some volatility on particular days around the earnings and news events. Alibaba, a big theme that I've mentioned in the last 2 to 3 videos, has been Chinese stocks. I think I've mentioned this since the 25th of August, and I continue to mention it as a big theme that we could be in right now. And Alibaba is one of the trades I've taken, as you can see here, around 26% profit. I'm looking for 150 on this one, maybe 160 for a new high. So around 37% that we can make on this one. The other one that I bought yesterday, and there's obviously Tesla here and a few other ones. I don't want to go into all of them. The other one I bought recently was Coinbase. A bit risky because the crypto market is a bit indecisive right now. But it's showing signs that we are moving higher, and I was willing to take the risk. Here we are around this level here. Slight profit. We end up entering around 310, 312, if my memory doesn't fail me. And here we are. There you go. So we're looking for a 1 to 6 here, 43% gainer. And if we do get an alt season run or some more momentum with Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're probably going to get these higher levels. CCJ, uranium play. I think this is looking pretty decent. Maybe I'm a little bit early here, but I was liking the look of DNN as well. So if we go to DNN, I was liking the look of DNN here, moving up higher. So I thought CCJ will do well. We've had some other plays in our Discord community where we've traded UUUU, Energy Fuels, And that's been performing really well for some of our traders there. So overall, we're looking pretty good. We've also had the HAIN Celestial Group, which I shared yesterday, doing pretty well, showing signs that potentially we're going to break around above this $2 level and then move to $2.80 or above for a big trade. Tesla, which I mentioned, not moving too much here, but I think it's a weekly play, this one. I think it needs a bit more time. I'm going to give it a little bit of time here. And we've been trading it since down here anyway, since 315. So we're around 350 now. We're in profit. We've had to trade it a few times. And RIVN in the EV space as well. We're in profit, traded around 13.4. And now it's consolidating, hopefully for another leg up. So we can get another leg up to 16.9 or whatever the market will give us in this leg up. That's the stock portfolio and what we're kind of looking at. I've been looking at quantum computing stocks recently. Nice consolidation here with QBTS, and we're looking at potentially playing this one on the breakout above here. Nice setup here on QBTS. And then another one, I think it was this one here, QMCO, showed big momentum coming off the bottom here. And I like it for a potential big winner for us, okay, in the Discord community. So another big trade here that could move really well. And then we have IONQ, again, quantum theme, consolidating. I'm looking for the breakout above this level. We're very close here to entering these trades. So we've had one leg up, a bit of a dip, and now we're having a new higher high that could be created here to around this level, maybe new all-time highs here as well for around 20% gainer. RGTI, also in the quantum theme, doing pretty well and consolidating quite nicely. I think this is also a huge potential here for us to take another trade back to all-time highs. If the market has that bullish momentum to new all-time highs for the S&P as well, this is one of the themes that I'm looking at the next few days. And then we're also looking at the crypto theme with Mara Holdings. Here we are. We have Mara Holdings. It's just starting here, just like Coinbase. I don't want to overexpose myself to crypto. So we're looking at this potential trade here. 1 to 4 here for 32% gain. And we also have, I think RIOT has already moved a bit too much for us here. So we can't trade it. But we are also looking, in the Discord community, we're also looking at BMNR Ethereum theme here. So big Ethereum holders, BMNR mining, there you go. Huge volatile play. We'll see how this moves in the next few days, but we're looking at this one, and we're looking at SPET, Sharpling as well on the crypto theme. So two themes that I'm playing with that I think could be big winners here if the market moves a little bit higher. Of course, we've had some other themes that have been doing well, like biotech and so on, and we've traded some of those ideas as well. But these are the big ones that I think will do well. Achieve Life Sciences. This is a bounce up again. I could be taking another trade here. I end up exiting for a small profit. I could be re-entering around this zone soon for another leg up on this move. That's it. We shared also BIDU, which has obviously moved too much now, so we can't really give you a new idea there. But these are, broadly speaking, the new ideas that we're looking at in the Discord group, and yeah, I think they're going to move well if the market conditions are good for them. Now, I want to go into analyzing crypto. We've done stocks, so I want to go into crypto. First one that I want to analyze is Bitcoin and the current situation here. We're still consolidating. We haven't really changed much in terms of where the price is. We're consolidating here above 113.6 is bullish. Under this level now is looking bearish for a double bottom or a lower low. It's around 101. So that's what I'm working with right now. But there's no decision being made yet with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is flat, and we're probably waiting for CPI data tomorrow, and then maybe we're even waiting, and traders are waiting for the interest rate decision on the 17th of September. So a stalemate, flat, with leaning towards bearish because of the resistance here. So maybe we could say 60% bearish, 40% bullish. And if we break around 113.6K, we then go bullish with fears or a little bit of concern of a head and shoulder pattern, which we have to monitor. Ethereum, 50-50 here. Nothing has happened in the last 3 days. If you look at the candles, there's nothing in those candles. They are flat, a bit up, a bit down. Nothing has changed. So there's indecision right now, and we're waiting for one ignition candle to kick in. One candle, I think it decides this. 1 or 2 candles, maybe 2 days. So tomorrow could be the trigger, or it could be next week, pre or during Fed interest rate decision. We're waiting here patiently. And I think we don't have an alt season unless Ethereum moves up higher. So we're looking at these levels now. Okay, I'm going to add another one here as a potential alert level around or above 4.4K. Okay, so that's the situation with Ethereum. And then I'm looking at sub 4.27, 4.25. Okay, for that trigger for a short here. Then when we're looking at the rest of the cryptos, I just want to cover what I'm holding right now. It's AVAX, just breaking above the weekly level here, looking pretty good. I like the way it looks here, and the upside potential that we have looks very, very good for a significant breakout on the weekly if we hold here and close above this level. I'd say if we close above 27.3, 27.4, we are very, very bullish on AVAX. Okay, so we have this one. We have ENA, which has been resisted a bit at all-time highs, and I think for me, it's okay, because if it consolidates a little bit, it's okay. I could have taken a bit of profit here off the table. I just want to make sure that I stay in this trade just in case it becomes a weekly trending move. So just in case it becomes a weekly trending move, I'm going to go back to $1 above. That's the reason why I'm holding. Mana has been flat the last few days, and I think it's due to the weekly levels not being broken yet. Once those weekly levels break, and the way that they break or when they break is when we pierce through the recent high of 33.5. Once we break that one, I think we have a weekly trend and we move up higher. I recently bought Link, and Link is doing pretty well here. Nice bounce today, showing a 2.5% gain. And then I bought Cardano as well here, also bouncing nicely and moving well. I'm looking at XRP for a potential buy and a few other ones in terms of ideas. I'm looking at Dogecoin, I'm looking at SHIB and HBAR. I like HBAR here as well, and SUI. That's it. I like SUI as well. They all look very similar. The setup is very similar. There's nothing different from these ones, except that they're lagging behind the ones I've currently traded. ENGN had a nice move up, sold off. I feel like this one might need another bounce here for a move up higher. I feel comfortable holding here because I think this could be a weekly move, like I've mentioned before. It just needs a bit of time for this to set up and be appealing to traders and investors again. We just need to break this weekly level and stay above the weekly 20 EMA. That's crypto. Now we go into the dollar. I want to cover the dollar here. With the dollar, I mentioned yesterday that for me, the levels were this. Once that broke, I think now we are in a bearish dollar bullish stocks. And what I'll be looking for the bullish side, for the bullish dollar, would be a break above now 98 on the Dixie, because we end up finding support around the 97 zone here. Alternative markets like HSI, which is the Hang Seng, are doing really well. This is the reason why Alibaba, BIDU, IQ are doing really well for my portfolio, and I think they can continue moving up higher here. If we look at the HSI, we're looking at potential new highs. And personally, I think we can go to 29,000 around this level from this point. We just have to be cautious of the RSI on the monthly being too high. Gold continues to move up higher, continues to provide strength, continues to work its way towards the 3.7K zone that I've placed as a target, and it has been very, very nice in the last few weeks. So for me, I'd probably be cautious right now for a bit of a dip. That'll be normal, so around 3.5K, and then another leg up. Natural gas. See natural gas really quickly. I think for me, it's if we can get a dip, then we have a huge opportunity to buy up and then trade the seasonality of natural gas, which I've mentioned in a few of my last few videos. Okay, that's it. I think I'll just leave it with these for today. I think I shared enough ideas here with the quantum plays, the crypto plays, and some other themes that I'm looking at. You can also go and have a look at some of the trades I've taken as well by going to my Discord group. You can follow the link in the bio of this video and join that Discord group for free. You get to see my watch list, my selected watch list. I shared quantum plays yesterday throughout the trading day and a few other ideas. So you're going to get to see my selective list, not just my screener. My screener might bring out maybe 100 trades that I could potentially trade today. I refine them and then post them in the Discord group as a watch and a potential trade. I take most of those trades myself. So you guys are basically getting to see firsthand what I'm watching before I even trade it. Also, subscribe to the channel. I will be making a video every day. Also, press the notification bell just to make sure that you guys get to see the videos, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. New content's coming out, new formats are coming out. I'll be sharing more and more value here for you guys. And that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. And hopefully this has been insightful.